How many calories did you eat in your last meal? Multiply that number by 10. That's how many calories it takes to produce and transport that food to where you are. Not to mention the countless chemicals and fertilizers average homeowners like you and me use to keep our yards nice and neat. So why does food take so much energy to produce? Well, there are a few main reasons for that. The first one is operating the farm equipment, is transporting the food, and then because of all the energy it takes for all these chemical reactions to occur, fertilizers and pesticides are the two main reasons why our food takes so much energy to grow. While there's no one idea to tackle all four of these energy guzzlers, we can focus on at least one. But what about the fertilizers? What about a fertilizer that takes 0 calories of energy to produce, of any kind? And what about a product that would not only add nutrients to the soil, but also would have something more to offer for our soil? The old business model is, look at a problem, then solve it. Then leave a trail of other problems for someone else like you or me to solve. For example, Monsanto wants to grow more food faster. I agree. I'm doing the same. However, from this, it now takes an exorbitant amount of energy to produce the fertilizers and pesticides that Monsanto now is making. And these chemicals leach into waterways and destroy the local ecosystems as a result. And now we have these controversial GMOs, or genetically modified plants, that are now so controversial, places like Europe and Japan don't even allow them into their own countries. The one guiding principle for my business is, examine a first problem, then look at a second problem, then use the solution for the second problem to solve the first. For example, we want to grow more food faster. Fertilizers use an exorbitant amount of energy. That's the second problem. And then, 50% of our waste is biodegradable, yet nothing's breaking down in these landfills, and Americans are being wasteful. There's a third problem. So, let's compost. Composting will divert 50% of this waste and actually break it down into a useful fertilizer, which we can then use to fertilize our soil. And it takes no energy to produce, which means we're solving all 3 of the problems, not 2, just with the solution to the third problem. Then not only does it do all of this, but composting also adds soil structure, which means it can now retain water, so for dry spells, it won't take as much water to water the plants and keep them alive. And when there's a lot of rain, it helps the water drain off better, so plants won't die from overwatering. And finally, if a product like this has been in production for as long as life has existed here on Earth, we know that it has to be something that's quality. Take a look at what I have here. You see this? This is just some waste construction material. Some more waste construction material, and some waste nails and screws that I found on the ground. And this is just some plastic I found in the dumpster to line up my bin. All of this waste is going to come together and make a worm composting bin, which will take waste kitchen materials and break it down into worm castings, which are useful for fertilizer. As you can see, I have to start my big idea with humble means. Once I can scale this project up, we'll get to not just biodegradable kitchen waste and coffee grounds. We will actually get to all biodegradable material, even meat, even wood. I'm starting this project in Bronxville, New York, at Sarah Lawrence College. And the worm castings that I produce from this are going to be used as a small garden plot, just at college, and for all the flowers that the college likes to grow in order to make the college look beautiful. In order for me to scale this project up, however, I have to show that this thing is profitable. So the first thing I did is I took a look at some Miracle-Gro, just at Home Depot, that normal homeowners like you and me would go out and buy. And then I also took a look at worm castings and found that the cheapest worm castings would probably cost about $1 for a pound. Now, after looking at the directions for the Miracle-Gro, I found that it might last for about 96 to 140 days. For worm castings, seeing all the nutrients that are in that, they'll probably last for about the same amount of time as well. So, already you can see worm castings are cheaper. And don't worry about the numbers too much, because I have those written down as well. The cost of the worm composting bin, it's all waste, so it's $0. The cost of the worms, with the shipping included, it all rounds up to $22. I learned that the bin itself, if I just made no product at all and just sold the bin for composting, if I compare to a plastic bin that can do the same job, maybe about $3. So we take $22, subtract $3, and that's $19. Then, seeing that worms eat their own weight in waste material, could probably produce about a pound of food a day. However, I'll just take a low estimate, say maybe about 2 pounds a week. Alright, so we have $19 and $2 a week, makes it about 9.5 weeks. I'll just round that up to 10 weeks. So in 10 weeks, I have this project paid off. So let's see. An idea that saves energy from producing fertilizer, adds more than just fertilizer at a competitive price, and can pay itself off, makes this a reliable solution to the energy crisis and climate change. Thank you.